What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talk Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. We got a lot of football to talk about today. I know everyone's doing their NBA free agency predictions. I'm gonna do that this week, most likely at some point. But for today, let's recap football from this past weekend, starting with college football. Number 8 Oregon beats Minnesota 42-13 on Friday night. Dante Moore, 27-30 for 306 yards and 2 touchdowns. Oregon gets by Minnesota without much of a problem. As expected, Minnesota isn't great. They're overmatched in the Big Ten. And Clemson, a bit of an upset over Louisville, 20-19. Louisville drops to 7-3 on the year. That will do it for their playoff hopes, I would think. But Clemson picks up a win. A big ACC win gets them to 5-5. Clemson beats them into the Saturday slate. Ohio State remains undefeated at 10-0. They beat UCLA 48-10. Wasn't even close. Not anything unexpected there. Number 2 Indiana beats Wisconsin 31-7. Fernando Mendoza 22 of 24 for 299 yards and 4 touchdowns. Their tight end Becker 5 catches, 108 yards and a touchdown. Indiana moves to 11-0, 8-0 in the Big Ten. Wisconsin drops to 3-7. They've had a really rough year. Texas A&M comes back from down 27 points in the second half to win 31-30. They were down 30-3 going into the second half against South Carolina. Most Reed threw 2 really bad interceptions late in that first half, and they come all the way back with 20 unanswered in the second half to defeat the Gamecocks 31-30. Most Reed ended up with 439 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had all 3 touchdowns in the second half and had over 300 passing yards in the second half as well. Just an incredible comeback I'm going to show you right now.
Well, they keep getting him involved in the run game. He'll throw it here. And he takes a shot, and it's caught for a touchdown by Isaiah Williams. Back to throw again. Stepping up. Taking a shot, and it is caught. Buffer Roman. Touchdown, Texas A&M. But now off schedule after the holding call. Back to throw off play action from his 3-yard line, and it's caught. Buffer Roman running away from defenders. Will they catch him? They finally do as he's tripped up. 8 of 11, 2 touchdowns in the second half. He'll step back, he'll fire, it's caught. It's a touchdown. Borkinger makes it a 1-score game. Reed hoists it deep. It's caught by Concepcion inside the 10. It's going to be first and goal for Texas A&M. They're now inside the 5. Smith, the ball carrier. He's into the end zone for the touchdown, and the game is tied.
Great comeback by A&M to take the lead in the fourth quarter. South Carolina got one more chance late in this game to potentially steal the lead back, but were unable to do so.
Throwing it to Reed. It's behind him. The ball's loose. And it's recovered by South Carolina. Inbounds. They go for it on 4th and 6. Sellers. Long throw. Harvard caught it. Sellers in trouble. And sacked back inside the 30-yard line by Dalton Brooks. Sellers in trouble again. And down he goes. Back at the 25. Another sack. A loss of 4. It's going to be 4th down and 16. Sellers steps up. Taking off. Down he goes. Turnover on downs.
So on the backwards pass there by Reed, down around the goal line, a crucial error by him. South Carolina recovers the fumble. It had a little over 3 minutes to go down, potentially getting field goal range to win the game, but weren't able to do so. A&M, big sack there on 3rd and 12, and then on 4th down, so was not able to make a play. And A&M hangs on, completes the crazy comeback. They win 31-30. Oklahoma beats Alabama 23-21, a pretty big upset. A huge win for Oklahoma. They took a lead pretty early in the fourth quarter, and then would put the clamp on Alabama in the rest of the quarter.
Simpson ready for the football. He's got it. Straight drop. Under pressure immediately. Dancing around. He throws as he's fallen to the ground. Oh, and it falls incomplete. 21. Simpson back to pass. Has time. Looks middle. Still has time. Pats the football. Comes back near side, and it is short hopped it. Snap. Simpson looks left. Throws out to the left. It's broken up. Incomplete. Peyton Bowen knocked it down.
So big stop there on that last drive for the Sooners. First down. You get pressure on the quarterback. You force an offensive holding penalty. Or I think you made a holding off or a grounding or something. It was 2nd and 21. And then Simpson from very poor mistake. You got to hit that throw on 2nd and 21, dude. Like, you got to make that throw. Comes up well short, then 4th and 6. Another low throw. It was good coverage there. He was all over the receiver, but low throw, not good enough. Ty Simpson, I'm not moved by Ty Simpson in the slice. I'm not so low. The Alabama quarterbacks are the same. So huge win for Oklahoma. You had number 5 Georgia beat Texas, who came in ranked 10th, 35-10. Arch Manning had another game. Texas up to 7-3. That should be a wrap for their playoff hopes, you would think. Georgia now is 9-1. And number 6, Texas Tech beats UCF 48-9. Texas Tech team is really good. That defense is elite. 10-1 on the year. In the driver's seat to win the Big 12. Meaning the playoffs shouldn't be too hard for them. UCF isn't very good. They're 1-6 in the Big 10. Just 4-6 overall. But Texas Tech also won by 39 points. Number 7 Ole Miss beats Florida 34-24. Florida had a 24-20 lead going into the 4th quarter. But Ole Miss was able to come from behind and take the lead and win the game.
3rd down. High snap. Shambles pulls it down. Lacey busts it. Eyeing the end zone. Brought down at the 1-yard line. Direct snap to Lacey. Freeway to the end zone. He adds to his Ole Miss record. 2-minute timeout. He's in the end zone. He's out of the end zone. He's going to go down. That's the first sack of the night for Ole Miss. Gladwell, eyes downfield, directing traffic. Has to put it up on 4th down. A throw back to the far side, and Mizell is brought down.
That kid Lacey for Ole Miss is something else. He had a monster game. 225 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Chambers played well, over 300 passing yards. So the direct snap to Lacey for the go-ahead touchdown. Almost would score again to make it 34-24. And of course, we get on the last drive of the game, gets a sack on DJ Lagway. And then stops him on 4th down, once again getting pressure on the quarterback. Ole Miss is really good. They're now 10-1 on the year. Florida drops to 3-7 as their head coach search continues. Number 9, Notre Dame beats number 22 Pittsburgh, 37-15. Notre Dame improves to 8-2. Pittsburgh drops to 7-3. Jeremiah 11, another big game, 147 yards and a touchdown. I expect him to have success at the next level. Number 12 BYU beats TCU, 44-13. In a blowout, they get to 9-1. TCU drops to 6-4. Number 13 Utah beats Baylor, 55-28. They get to 8-2. Baylor drops to 5-5. Number 15 Miami beats NC State, 41-7. Carson back to 2-1 and 3 scores. Miami's 8-2. NC State's 5-5. Number 16 Georgia Tech beats Boston College 36-34. Just sneaks by Boston College. What a rough year they've had. They're 1-10 this year. Haynes King goes for 371 yards and a touchdown. ACC is such a cluster mess. What is that conference? Number 17 USC beats number 21 Iowa 26-21. They're at 8-2. USC, I don't think they're gonna make the playoff, but they have a chance. Like they have a chance. It's crazy. Number 18 Michigan beats Northwestern 24-22 on this kick. 31 yards, right down the middle. Michigan sneaks by over Northwestern. They're at 8-2. They have an outside chance of getting into the college football playoff. This playoff is just nuts. They have number 19 Virginia takes care of business against Duke 34-17. Duke somehow at 5-5. They have 3 brutal non-conference losses. You lost to Illinois, to Toledo, and there was somebody else, which is really bad that you lost to. They still have a chance to win the ACC. That conference as well. But Virginia takes care of it. Pick up a big win. Number 23, Tennessee beats New Mexico State 42-9. Tennessee 7-3. New Mexico State's 3-7. Not won a road game all year. Navy with a big win over South Florida, 41-38. So big win for Navy, who is 8-2 this year. That's awesome to see. South Florida just drops to 7-3. Navy has an outside chance of being the Group of 5 team, and that would be freaking awesome, dude. That'll happen. That'll be awesome. This is cool to see them having a good year. Army Navy this year should be that's going to be a legitimately good football game this year. And Arizona beats number 25 Cincinnati 30-24. Both teams are now 7-3. Let's wake up NFL, week 11 in the NFL. Thursday night football, Patriots and Jets. Patriots win 27-13, led by Trivion Henderson with 3 touchdowns. Drake May, 281 yards and a touchdown, 105 yards for Stephon Diggs. New England wins their 8th game in a row. They are 9-2 on the year right now, the best team in the AFC. I think, yeah, they have the best record in football, actually. 9-2, just up with 2-8. What else was going to say? Justin Fields flat out sucks. He can't throw. Bad penalties. They couldn't get pressure on Drake May when they did. Stephon Diggs was wide open. They couldn't stop the run. I thought this would be even worse. They were down by a touchdown at the half. I thought it would be worse than that. After the first drive, the Gals scored 27-7. No surprise there. Justin Fields has been benched for Tyrod Taylor. This was the right decision. He would have been benched, what was it, week 8 in that Bengals game if Tyrod Taylor had not gotten hurt during the week in practice. But Taylor doesn't. He ends up getting hurt. They are forced to start Justin Fields again. And he ends up playing a somewhat okay game against the worst defense in football. Just pull out a win. Coming out of the bye, they start him. And this was the end result. You sneak away with a win against another bad team in the Browns, and then you get the brakes beat off you by New England. And just, this experiment has to end. Justin Fields, liked him coming out of Ohio State, but he's proven me wrong. He's horrible. Like, he literally has no confidence in pushing the ball down the field. He cannot perform these simple functions of the position. That would be like if you can't perform the simple functions of a job. You'd be like an accountant not knowing how to count. Like, he can't throw the ball down the field. He just can't do it. When I say this, I mean this literally. He'd be a great Taysom Hill. That's not even supposed to be a knock on him. Well, it probably is a knock. I mean, the guy was a first-round pick quarterback, and you're saying he should come in for a trick play, 3 times a game. It's kind of an insult. But in all seriousness, he'd be a great Taysom Hill with his size, his athleticism. He comes in for a trick play here or there, a design run, because the guy can run. He's a great athlete. He ran for 6-7 yards from this game as a quarterback, but just he doesn't have the arm talent to be a NFL quarterback. He just doesn't, not full time. Patriots beat just on Thursday Night Football. Sunday slate, the Madrid game. Dolphins beat the Commanders 16-13 in overtime. Just a brutal game. Can you imagine being from Spain? Imagine like a 10-year-old kid in Spain who knows nothing about American football. It's like, oh my God, American football's coming to Spain. Let's watch the game. Might be the only chance I get to watch the game. And it's Dolphins Commanders. They put up that. I would never watch the NFL again if I was that 10-year-old in Spain. That poor kid. But in all seriousness, Dolphins escape with a win over the Commanders. They are now 4-7 on the year. Commanders should drop to 3-8. The Commanders have a ton of injuries. Dolphins just suck. This was a brutal, brutal watch. And the ending of this game was a very good microcosm of what this game truly was.
4th and goal from the 1. There's Gordon. He stopped.
She wasn't there.
So here's Pat Gay from 56 yards out. It is no good.
Commanders fan now.
Mariota pumps throws, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Jack Jones. The left hash. It is straight through.
So I have a question for Mike McDaniel. Why would you go for on 4th and goal? There's a minute 44 left in the game. It's tied. Your defense is up 13 points all game. Washington has nothing on offense. Their offense is depleted. Their whole team is depleted. Take the points. Okay? Worst case, they finally to get a field goal in the last minute 40 and you go to overtime. No way they're scoring a touchdown with Marcus Mariota throwing to a washed Deebo Samuel and handing it off to Krosky Merritt, the 6th-round rookie who's starting a running back for them. What are we doing? Washington misses a 56-yard field goal, sends it to overtime. First play from overtime, Mariota does a Brutal pick, so shows why he's a backup, not a starter. Leads to a Dolphins game-winning field goal. Dolphins win just a yikers game. Panthers beat the Falcons 30-27 in overtime. Bryce Young balls out. 31 of 45 for 440 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tim McMillan, 8 catches, 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bijan had 104 yards and 2 scores. This was a very exciting finish to this game.
He gets it away under pressure from Ellis. Dowdle down the sideline. Rico Dowdle on the gas pedal.
After review, the runner stepped out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
Yeah,
That's where I'd go.
Young. Late rush for Atlanta. Bryce Young steps and throws. He's got it to McMillan. Touchdown, Carolina. His second game for the Falcons this year. It is on the way. It's leaking, and it is good. Go back off. Cousins to throw. He gets it away, and that is near the ground, and Hodge could not reel it in. The left guard. And Bryce Young rips it this side. It's caught by Tremble, who turns upfield. Tremble breaks away. Tommy Tremble inside the 15. From 28. And Carolina has won.
A crazy finish. Looks like Rico Dowdle had a 30-yard touchdown on the screen pass. On review, he stepped out of bounds at the 10-yard line. 3rd and goal. Bryce Young has all day to throw. Finds his man. Touchdown. Carolina takes the lead. Atlanta for 45-yard. Barely makes it. Just sneaks it in the left upright. Sends it to overtime. And then Kirk Cousins in place for an injured Michael Penix. He got hurt in the game. Terrible pass on 3rd and 11. Too low for Hodge. And then second play, that Carolina gets the ball back. Young to Tommy Tremble breaks a couple of tackles. Breaks up a big play. Leads to a game-winning field goal from 28 yards away. Carolina wins 30-27. Teams are 6-5. It's kind of crazy. Atlanta is 3-7. Raheem Morris should not be employed as I'm doing the show. He sucks. The Atlanta Falcons interviewed a lot of big-name coaches 2 years ago after firing Arthur Smith. That included Bill Belichick. They also included Mike Vrabel. They decided our interim head coach, who we fired 4 years ago, should be the head coach. Really? Are you kidding me? Brittle hire at the time. He needs to go. He sucks. Bryce Young, for 3 years, since he got drafted number 1 overall, has statistically been one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. He's not it. I've said it many times. I said when he was drafted. And you let him light you up twice this year. He had almost 450 yards and 3 touchdowns in this game. He lit you on fire. Your pass shouldn't be this bad. On that 3rd and goal, late in the 4th quarter, Bryce Young had 30 years to throw the ball. He sat in the pocket for like 5 seconds and then scrambled a little bit, got the throw off. Still, there was really no pressure on him. And the guy was wide open in the end zone. Like, how does that even happen? Like, God, they are just so bad. And it shouldn't be this bad. I get you have a young quarterback with Penix, who was a top 10 pick last year. He has talent. You have one of the most talented running backs in the league in Bijan. Drake London's a stud. Pitts is not a bad player. Even though Darnell Mooney's a solid receiver to have. There's talent on my defense, and just week in and week out, you find ways to lose games. He needs to be fired. Now, the guy sucks. Now, Michael Penix hurt his knee. Looks like he's done for the year. Drake London has a PCL injury in his knee. He's not going to play this coming week in week 12. May be facing an extended absence. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't see the field the rest of the year. There's an absolute mess in Atlanta. But moving on, Bills beat the Buccaneers 44-32. Josh Allen, a couple of bad mistakes in this game. He had that ugly interception in the first quarter, but otherwise was amazing. Had 6 touchdowns, 3 for 317, 3 touchdowns. Also had 3 rushing touchdowns. It was tied Cam Newton's all-time record for rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in the regular season with 75 total for his career. And his second career game with at least 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns. Guy's just ridiculous. Was the reigning MVP. Big win for the Bills to get to 7-3. Lost by the Bucs, dropped them to 6-4. Obviously dealing with a lot of injury. But Sean Tucker, shout out to him, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's really good. Texans over the Titans 16-13 in an ugly game. It was 3-0 Tennessee at the half. Davis Mills started the game with Stroud out. He threw for 274 and a touchdown, 90 yards on touchdown for Nico Collins. Now, Texans won on this field goal.
Matthew Wright for the win. The kick. Right down Broadway.
35 yards from Matthew Wright wins it. Texans started out really bad. They've played a little bit better. 5-5 this year. Offense still was really bad. Stroud's been inconsistent again. Still not really blaming him. The offensive line's been really bad. Nico Collins is their only weapon. Even he's been in and out of the lineup. Schultz is a solid tight end, but he's not really a threat. They can't run the ball. They're 5-5 though. They're only a game out of the playoffs. And Titans are 1-9. Just brutal team. Obviously already fired the coach. Just a mess over there in Tennessee. Bears beat the Vikings 19-17. Another game where K. Williams does not play well. Just 16 of 32 for 193 yards. Bears escape with a win on this kick from Cairo Santos.
Santos puts it up, and it is good!
48 yards from Santos is good. I cannot imagine the amount of nerves Bears fans are feeling because they've won a lot of these close games this year, but in the past, especially recently, they've lost a lot of these kind of games. Santos has not been a very reliable kicker, especially on longer field goals. The last couple of years, he's been their kicker, and started hooking to the left, but stays true, gets through the uprights. Bears win 19-17, 7-3, first place in the NFC North. Wow, who would have thought? Kudos to Ben Johnson and the Bears. Vikings 4-6, last place in the division. And it is now time to have a conversation about J.J. McCarthy. I understand his rookie year last year, he was injured the whole season. He hurt his knee in preseason, had to have surgery. He was out 6 weeks earlier this season with an ankle injury. But I don't think he's ready, and that's really concerning. He played at Michigan for Jim Harbaugh. Multi-year starter. Won a national championship. I get it, he wasn't asked to do a whole lot. That's the kind of guy that probably should sit at first, but he did. Again, he was injured, but still, at the end, that he got to sit and watch a veteran like Sam Darnold go out there and effectively run this offense in the Kendall Collins offense, which is one of the best offenses in the league. He's an incredible offensive mind. So many pieces there. It's basically the same situation as he had in at Michigan. The offensive line is a problem for sure. He's got a good running game with Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. Justin Jefferson is already the best receiver in football. Jordan Addison is another good receiver. Hawkinson's a good tight end. They have a good defense. And he looks this awful. Like he had 2 interceptions. This first one I'm going to show you guys was really bad.
Another play action, pressure coming. McCarthy steps up, throws, and it's intercepted by Byard. Kevin Byard with some room to roll. Gets a couple blocks inside the 30.
Like, that's just freaking terrible. Horrible decision. Even worse throw. Like, what the hell was that? Another bad game from him. Only completed about half of his passes. Just 150 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks. Just very bad. And, like, he looks not even ready. And, I think the Vikings knew that. First of all, I didn't think he was going to start week 1 last year anyway. I did think Sam Darnold would start week 1 last year. And I thought maybe McCarthy would eventually take over. Well, we all thought Sam Darnold sucked. And then, McCarthy obviously gets hurt. But then all of a sudden, Sam has a great season. It's like, oh, should they keep Sam or not? And I'll admit, I thought McCarthy had potential to be a solid quarterback in this league. I mean, not an elite quarterback, but like a solid quarterback. So I saw why you'd not want to pay Sam Darnold. He did struggle in the biggest 2 games of the year last year. You traded up to get McCarthy, but 10th pick in the draft. I understand you won't want to give up on it for actually seeing him. But they picked the wrong guy. It's simple as that. We'll get to Sam Darnold, how he played against the Rams. But overall, he's had a really good year this year, Sam. And he's proven to at least be a good quarterback in this league. McCarthy is not. I'm not writing him off completely yet, but just, I don't know what else you need to see. Second half of the year, if he doesn't really turn things around, I think they should move on. If he looks this bad in this offense, just sitting for a year and getting to learn the playbook, most rookies get drafted in April. A couple months later, you're on the practice field in training camp. You're getting reps, and then a couple months later, the season starts. You had a whole extra year to sit and watch and get to know these guys in this playbook. and he still looks utterly terrible. He's costing them games. Like, this should not be a 4-6 team. As great as that division is, that roster is very, very good. It's right up there. The roster's in the league. It's certainly a better roster than the Bears, and their roster isn't bad by any means. Just that we know what the head coach will be, and the quarterback is a bum. But man, JJ McCarthy, he's got to turn this thing around, or he will be average out of Minnesota sooner rather than later. Packers beat the Giants 27-20. Back and forth game in this one. The Packers escape with a victory.
Halfway point of the fourth. It's Winston. It's a touchdown, and this game is tied again. Fifth body coming for the Giants' pressure. Love with time. Waving receivers around. Off the back foot, he launches it downfield, and it's caught by Savion Williams. Love at a high snap. Floats it. Watson up top. It is caught! Winston fires. End zone off target. Picked off!
The Packers win. Jameis Winston rather of a QB sneak to give the Giants a 1-point lead, middle of the fourth quarter, but then Love gets the ball back. Goes down the field, makes that great throw to Williams and the deep pass. Then a touchdown pass to Christian Watson with a little under 4 minutes to go. They get a 2-point conversion. The Giants went down the field. James made a couple of solid throws. They had a couple of solid runs. And into the final minute, he throws a pick to the Packers. I don't really blame him for that pick, though. Take a look at Jalen Hyatt. That was one of the most piss-poor efforts by a receiver I've ever seen. Like, he's horrible. How is that guy still on the team? Isaiah Hodgins has been very serviceable for them the last couple of years. Stepped up big in that one big year for Daniel Jones. Not big year, but the best year he had with the Giants when they actually won a playoff game in 2022. How is he not on the roster, but Jalen Hyatt is? He's been on the roster all year. So ever since they drafted him, it was clear, as fast as he is, he's a terrible route runner and has hands of stone. How is he still on this roster? That was a pathetic effort. They should have caught him yesterday. At that point, in the locker room, Kafka should have done whatever post-game speech. Pulled Jalen Hyatt aside and says, hey, we're letting you go. That's horrible. First thing he should have said in the press conference when they asked him was, oh yeah, he's been let go. Like, that's terrible. James didn't play even that bad. 19-29 for 201 yards. He had a few throws that were not good that probably should have been picked off. It's Jameis Winston. You're obviously taking, the bad with the good with him. But man, Jalen Hyatt, he should be cut today. He should not still be on the team. And there was rumors out that they were going to make changes to the defensive staff. Maybe the corner Shane Bowman was finally getting fired. And if Kafka comes out and says, yeah, no changes, Shane Bowman's still the corner, we're already preparing for next week. It's like, dude, come on. What are we doing? What am I doing in the Meadowlands from the Jets and the Giants? Good Lord. Giants are now 2-9. Packers get to 6-3-1. Steelers over the Bengals, 34-12. Bengals suck, 3-7. They gotta fire Zach Taylor. That guy's horrible. His decision making is so porous. I don't care if Burrow's hurt or the roster construction is a little bit iffy. The offense is too talented to be 3-7. It just is. And Joe Flacco is a veteran. Been playing a long time. He's played pretty well since coming over. And it still was bad. That should not be. Steelers get the 6-4, still in first place. Now Aaron Rodgers may have a broken wrist. So it may be Mason Rudolph time in Pittsburgh. So that will be a problem for the Steelers for sure. But Jaguars beat the brakes off of the Chargers 35-6. Chargers are in trouble. They're 7-4 right now. But the offensive line is depleted with injuries. Justin Herbert's getting killed back there. They're on their third string running back. They have injuries on defense. That team is decimated by injuries. They're in some deep trouble. Jaguars get the 6-4 on the year. Rams over the Seahawks, 21-19. They hang on. A rough game for Sam Darnold. Those 4 interceptions, his first 4 interception game since the See and Ghost game with the Jets back in 2019 against the New England Patriots. 2 of his picks were really, really bad.
First and 20. Darnold zips one, and it's his third interception. Kitchens with his second of the day. Cameron Kinchin's back to the 26. Darnold in trouble. Jump throw intercepted for the fourth time. Darius Williams this time.
So Sam Darnold, look, he's turned himself into a good quarterback, but for whatever reason, in the worst moments, sometimes the ghost of his path, aka his Jeff tenure, comes back to haunt him. Like, those two picks were really bad. Especially that second one, he did like a little jump throw. Like, what the hell was that? The first one was really bad, too. But this did have an exciting finish. Seattle does battle back, but them to ultimately would come up short.
It's Walker. It is a touchdown. The first of the day for the Seahawks.
If you're the Rams, it's got to be catch, get down, throw it.
Boy, gotta hurry. Shaheed's got it with 1 second, and they give him the timeout. From 61, does he have enough? It is wide right, and the Rams hang on. So they would score a touchdown to make the game close. Kenneth Walker would run one in. They would force a 3-and-out. And on third down, the Rams would try and throw it. Stafford would incomplete pass, so they keep a timeout. But perfect punt from their punter inside the 1-yard line. The Seattle did not with the ball well enough. Even Greg Olson was saying, like, come on, guys got to hurry up. I thought it was pretty funny. He was breaking it down. He was like, all right, you got to get a quick pass and get down because they had the one timeout, only 5 seconds. And at first, Sam wasn't throwing it. Greg Olson just screams, throw it! It was pretty funny. But find Shaheed. They get a 6-1 for Jason Myers, and he pushes it. The Rams win. Rams are really good, man. 8-2. Stafford is balling. The offense is lethal. That defense has played really well lately. 8-2 on the year, and Seattle drops to 7-3 on the season. 49ers beat the Cardinals 41-22. And Jacoby Brissett had 47 completions, 47 to 57 for 452 yards and 2 touchdowns. Michael Wilson, remember, no Marvin Harrison in this game. He had 15 catches for 185 yards. Dork had a nice game, a big game for McBride, over 100 yards and a touchdown. But Arizona 3-7. The Colts actually played well. Just the rest of that team, I try to tell people, sucks. The Niners, they're getting healthier. Got back Purdy back in this game. Mac Jones held the fort down very well for them. Ricky Pearsall, your first-round receiver last year. He came back from this game. He's been hurt for a while. I think Juwan Jennings is back. George Kittle is back. Playing well, 7-4, even with all their injuries. Ravens over the Browns, 23-16. This was a low-scoring game. Lamar didn't play very well. Throws 2 picks, but Mark Andrews, on a great play call, takes them to the house. Gives the Ravens a late lead.
Andrews spinning away, and there he goes! Andrews all the way! Touchdown!
Play call, 4th Andrews, they fake a QB sneak with Mark Andrews, and then he turns around and runs it into the end zone. Great play call by Todd Monken, the Ravens coordinator, and the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know whose idea if that was, if it was Lamar's or Todd Monken's or John Harbaugh's, but great job there by the Ravens. I'm not sure if you guys saw, but Dylan Gabriel suffered an injury in this game. He suffered a concussion. So Shedeur Sanders got in there and got a chance to play. And this is what y'all's golden boy did.
Season in practice that now you get a chance to go out there and execute.
3rd down and 10. Sanders takes a big hit, and he's picked off. Intercepted on the play by Nate Wiggins.
What was that? That was terrible. Shedeur was 4 of 16 for 47 yards and an interception. Almost lost a fumble. I cannot believe people thought this guy should have been a top 5 pick in the draft. What are we doing? I tried to tell people, both he's my quarterback 5 or 6 coming out in this class. I told you, he is a 5th round prospect. He got drafted properly. And y'all flipped. People like me. A lot of people were in the same boat as me, but some people said, oh, you're an idiot. You're wrong. People even had some racial stuff to say. And you all look like fools. You all suck and are stupid. Shedeur Sanders cannot play the position of quarterback. He's horrible. His quarterback rating was 13.5. Do not even try to defend him. I want to hear you guys get first team reps. If he's the guy y'all say is, he should have been 4 of 16 after coming in. They're up 16-10 when he came in, and they ended up giving up 13 unanswered and losing to the Ravens, a game that you could have won. You played well enough to win, but Shedeur Sanders gave it all away. They're going back to Dylan Gabriel next week. I don't even blame them. Like, he sucks too, but he's better than that. My God. As I said many times on this show, Shador Sanders flat out sucks. Moving on, Broncos beat the Chiefs 22-19 on this kick from Will Lutz.
He's already made 4 today. Lutz in the clutch, and the Broncos have won it.
Denver wins 22-19. Huge win for them over the Chiefs. 9-2, 6-0 at home. Chiefs are 5-5 on the year, 1-4 on the road, and then honestly, they're in a bit of trouble. Their running game is basically non-existent. It is horrible. They cannot run the football. It was a little better last night. Kareem Hunt, 13 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown, but the run game's been really bad all year. Mahomes has had some great games this year, but lately hasn't been playing very well. The offensive line isn't great. The defense is pretty good. They have a solid defense, but man, right now they are a game out of the playoffs. You're 4 games out of the division now, and now you best have a split with Denver because you lost to them in the first game, obviously, that you played them this season yesterday. Rest of their schedule, it's a little bit tough. Now it's coming to get Indianapolis. Now, you never know. Daniel Jones can play in big games, but the Colts are a really good team. They're 8-2 for a reason. You give the Bears in a couple weeks. Again, the Bears are beatable, but they're in first place now, 7-3. They're playing well. They're finding ways to win games. Defense is playing a little bit better. You have another game against Denver. Granted, you'll be at home. Denver is not as nearly as good of a road team, but that's a good football team. They should have passed Surtain back by then. The league's best corner, best defense in football. They're in some trouble. Okay, they are in some trouble in Denver. I called them frauds. They're barely beating bad teams, but hey, you beat Philly, you beat Kansas City. You're winning a lot of one-score games. I still don't think you're going to do a whole lot in the playoffs, but man, a big win for them. They are 9-2, and right now leading the AFC. Good for them. And the Eagles beat the Lions 16-9 on Sunday Night Football. The Eagles have gotten really boring to watch, I gotta say. They are now 8-2 on the year. Lions up 6-4. Can the officials really just not? Can they try and hide their Eagles bias? The tush-push bull crap. And that passing interference on Rocky Sin on the Lions on that third down. That's horrible. I get the Lions' offense was non-existent all night, and they may have not been able to score a touchdown. That's a potentially likely scenario. But at least give him a chance. That was a good finish. That could have been a really exciting finish, otherwise brutal game to watch. And you robbed us because you're just a horseshit penalty on the line. If anything, it's a push off on A.J. Brown. It should have been no call, but if anything, A.J. Brown pushed off. It was definitely not passing interference on Marcus Sin. Even Chris Collinsworth called it accurately. He was like, oh my God, but that's horrible. Even he was freaking out in the broadcast booth. Just horrible, horrible, horrible. Philadelphia, though, as weak as the offense looks this year, they should be the favorites to win the Super Bowl. It appears they shore up their defense by bringing in Michael Carr to help up their secondary, bringing in Jalen Phillips off the pass rush. Offense looks a lot of whack right now. Saquon isn't having the same thing he did last year. Hurts hasn't had a great year. He's not on the same page as A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's frustrated. He's had a meeting with the owner to tell him, please don't post on social media about your frustration. It's just, offense is just rough to watch, but they're winning games. They're 8-2 on the year. They are 8-2. Lions drop to 6-4. Cowboys Raiders is the game tonight. Let's recap Friday Night Smackdown from this past Friday. So we started out with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky coming out to discuss the Women's War Games match. Then they welcomed Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Then all of a sudden, Charlotte says, I'm not willing to do this. She's told Rhea, I don't like you. I think you're a snake. You probably think the same thing about me, but there's too much bad blood here. Of course, they've had many matches in the past. She said, I'm out, and walked out like that. Later in the show, Rhea, Io, and Bliss were talking backstage, thinking, well, what the heck are we going to do? And then they were attacked by the heel team they'll be going up against, which right now is Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and the Kabuki Warriors, who, of course, are the new women's tag champs, Asuka and Kairi Sane. So, interesting to see what they do with the babyface team. I do think they will convince Charlotte Flair to do it. We'll see what happens. Both teams, even after that, are going to need another member. So we will see what happens. And we had Jey Uso against The Miz in the last time is now tournament, and Jey Uso defeated The Miz to move on. In a decision I just do not understand. Why are we still pushing Jey Uso? The guy is terrible. I do not understand. The Miz is one of Cena's best rivals. The promos those guys had, the matches from the main event of WrestleMania, where The Miz beat him for the WWE Championship with The Rock getting involved, setting up Cena Rock, their 2-year rivalry, from just all the great moments that they had. And The Miz now is, unless he fights him somehow at Survivor Series randomly or on Raw tonight, and seeing his last match ever on Raw, he's not going to be on the retirement tour. I remember like a month ago, he was crashing out in someone's podcast saying like, "Oh, like why is anyone mentioning me to be on the retirement tour?" And I don't blame him. Like Logan Paul, really? Like I don't hate Cody Rhodes. I think he's boring, but he's not like my least favorite. But The Miz should be on the tour before Cody Rhodes on this retirement tour. Like, what are we doing? Just a pathetic decision by this career team that just absolutely sucks. Then we had Ilya Dragunov continue the U.S. Open Challenge against Axiom. I really wish they didn't spoil it. They've done that a couple times with this U.S. Challenge between him and Sami Zayn. But he fought Axiom. Very good match. Dragunov picks up the win. Of course, backstage, Ciampa once again expresses frustrations with Dragunov calling him a jackass. And he attacked Axiom after the match. And we'll have Ciampa and Gargano will have a DIY. Will have a tag match against Axiom and Nathan Frazier for Axiom this coming week. A very good match. Sami Zayn calls out Solo Sikoa. And Solo comes out with his goons, the MFT, of course, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Tawa Tonga, and JC Mateo. But then Shinsuke Nakamura, the Motor City Machine Guns, and Ray Fenix all come out to help Sami Zayn, who's now medically cleared. So I wonder, remember the traditional 5-on-5 matches, Raw versus SmackDown? Could we get one here? That's the only real thing place I can see them going with this story. For Survivor Series, which is, I believe, in 12 days. November 29th, I believe, is the date. Saturday. Week from this coming Saturday, I believe. We'll see where that goes. We had Ellen against a mystery opponent in the last time of now tournament, and it was none other than Zack Ryder. Remember, the show was in Albany. Zack Ryder is a Long Island born and raised. Of course, he's now in TNA. He goes by Matt Cardona, but he comes out as Zack Ryder. Do they have to Death Rebel him, though? Really? Come on. But it was cool to see him. Solid match. LA Knight wins, and that's the right decision. Zack Ryder is not under contract with the WWE. It's cool to see him. That was awesome. LA Knight wins. Solid match. Yeah, Jade Cargill gets B-Fab in a snooze fast match. Is about 2 minutes long, as I expected. Then Michin had to kind of like help her partner. She gets shoved down by Jade Cargill. I said to myself, and as well as a friend of mine, I was like, B-Fab got about 2 minutes. Michin, maybe you'll get 3. Like, man. By the way, B-Fab, the woman's mid-card is so bad. If you want to explain to someone how bad it is, look at B-Fab. B-Fab is towards the top of the women's mid-card. Holy crap, she is horrible. My God. She sucks. My Lord. Michin isn't much better. Good God. I mean, Jade Cargill, she's not the best wrestler, but her presentation so far as a heel with this title has been fantastic. Cody Rhodes against Bronson Reed in the main event for the WWE Championship ends in disqualification with Drew McIntyre getting involved. He's no longer suspended, I guess. He'll be a part of the heel team of Survivor Series, which right now is the Bronze division, of course, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Logan Paul and now Drew McIntyre. It was funny when Nick Aldis on Heyman's face. He was upset that he, picked a suspended guy to be on the team. And Paul was like, "You said anybody on the roster," which he has a point. Nick Aldis did tell him in a backstage segment, you can pick anybody, in WWE. So he's got a point. But so it looks like the heel team needs one more, but the face team still needs one more. Right now it's Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and the Usos. do we even need to get Jimmy Uso? Well, that's so boring. Come on. I know the fifth member is going to be probably going to be Roman Reigns. He'll come out and do his 87th return of this year. Maybe John Cena. I would prefer him to have a singles match. I don't know who else it could possibly be at this point. Like Sami Zayn's got. He's obviously his BSA, so it won't be him. I don't know who else. I am curious to see who the last person with that heel team will probably be Brock Lesnar. Remember that interaction with Paul Heyman from months ago, right before WrestlePalooza. It will probably be Brock, which will get a great pop, but no one wants to see Brock Lesnar. Make it someone surprising. Make it Aleister Black or something. Do something somewhat different, somewhat not original for once in this creative team's lives. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Till next time, so long. Have a great day.